No, they've made Grandfather angry.
Ah, no more. No more. Stop the music, no more. Oh, are you capable of singing without flapping your hands around?
Yes? No? Please wake up. Hello, my fellow Whovians and subscribers, and welcome to my latest Doctor Who review, where today I review Doctor Who Series 7, Episode 7, The Rings of Akhaten, starring Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor. Okay, so we are over halfway through Series 7, or about halfway, and now we come to The Rings of Akhaten. So the plot of this episode is as follows. Clara Oswald wants to see something awesome, so the 11th Doctor whisks her off to the inhabited rings of the planet Akhaten, where the Festival of Offerings is in full swing. Clara meets the young Queen of Years known as Mary, as the pilgrims and the natives ready for the ceremony. But something is stirring in the pyramid, and a sacrifice will be demanded. Okay, the Rings of Akhaten. Yeah, this is... It surprises me that this is a universally hated Doctor Who story. People hate this story. Why? It ain't that bad. Yeah, I'm sorry to go against the majority. If you hate this story, you're going to be very disappointed in my review, because I actually like this story. Granted, it ain't no masterpiece. It's not perfect. It does have problems, and I will go into them. But I am shocked that people hate this story. I mean, okay, each to their own. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, of course. But to actually hate on the story, I think that is a little harsh, but okay, fair enough. I personally thought it was a decent story. It does have the problem of being rushed. I think the episode tries to do too much in a very short runtime. Perhaps maybe making this story a two-part story might have actually helped it to be a bit clearer. Especially the second half of the story, when the Doctor and Clara try to save Mary, and the episode basically tries to do an exposition dump. The Doctor's trying to explain loads of different information in a very short space of time. In terms of the villains, like the god that they're worshipping, which is encased inside this glass, well, box, I guess you could say. Then it turns out there's an old god who's like eating planets and eating people or something like that. The episode does become a little bit overcomplicated towards the finale of the episode, but you know, I still think the ending of the episode does have its powerful moments, particularly with the long song, which is just beautiful. I mean, I have to say, Murray Gold's soundtrack for this is amazing. The music of The Rings of Akhaten is definitely the best thing about it. It's so powerful, and it's so emotional, and it's epic as well. The long song, it's just a brilliant sequence as well, when Mary is singing to the god or whatever, you know, please wake up, da 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 da, which is intercut with the Doctor giving this massive speech about how he's going to sacrifice himself to save them, which is very noble of him. Actually, it's one of Matt Smith's best Doctor Who moments for me. This is definitely one of my favourite scenes from Matt Smith in his entire era. He gives this amazing, emotionally powerful speech, and he's like, you know, come on, take my memories. Come on, take it all, baby. And he's even crying. He's got tears in his eyes, and he's just giving everything away to this god. And he's saying, you know, you can take my memories, and so powerful. It really is very good. And I think this was the moment where I think I sort of, my opinion of Matt Smith certainly went up. I mean, I always liked Matt Smith, but this was when I thought, wow, this is one of his very best performances. He is just so in the scene. So one of Matt Smith's best performances by a mile. Just so good. And then the ending culminates with Clara bringing up this leaf, because in the beginning of the story we have a flashback to Clara's parents, and she says it's the most important leaf in human history, and it's the leaf that actually hit her father in the face. And it's the leaf that they kept because her parents met that way, and then Clara's kept it in a book, and then she offers up the leaf to the god, and apparently he's full or something. The explanation behind the significance of the leaf is fine, but then the fact that the god is full up at that point and not able to digest the leaf because it's just so important to human history. I suppose that is a little silly how that kind of resolves itself and how the god just sort of blows up and destroys itself from that. I didn't really quite understand that, but still, Clara's speech as well was very moving and very emotional. This is actually quite an emotional episode, I must admit. It was far more emotional than I remembered it to be. And as for the flashback with Clara's parents, I really liked it. I thought it was very sweet, and the actors that played her parents were really good, and I loved the relationship she had with her parents. It was really cute, and we even see moments where the Doctor is going back in time to see Clara's life, because he's trying to unravel the mystery behind Clara. And he meets Clara when she's a girl, and he also goes to Clara's mother's grave, because we find out Clara's mother has died, although her dad, I think, is still alive. I mean, I love the look of this story. The visuals are amazing. The production design is brilliant. Some of the green screen, I think, it has dated a bit since the episode aired, but for what it is, it's still really good. And you can tell that they spent quite a lot of the budget on this one, and it looks visually, well, more impressive than some of the episodes in this series. Let's just say that. And all of the practical effects as well I appreciated. Not only the CGI, which was really good, but the practical effects when the Doctor and Clara are in the market, coming across all these different creatures. That's really cool. And I really appreciated the time that they took to make the world of Akhaten look real. And actually, I like Clara in this one. I think Jenna Coleman does a really good job. She's not as annoying as she has been in some of the stories, and not as annoying as she will be in a few of the stories. But again, all down to the script. But her performance is really good. And I think because it's such an emotional focus on her and her backstory, there's not room for her to be so sassy. She has a little bit of her spunkiness, but it's not quite as much as it has been. And like I said, Matt Smith as the Doctor, just brilliant. An amazing performance. Like I said, the only thing that lets it down really are the villains. I think the explanation behind the villains is rushed, really quite rushed in the third act, and yeah, they don't get to do very much when they're on screen, which is a real shame. Also, I'm going to give a shout out to Amelia Jones, who plays Mary, Mary Gillel, the little girl who is chosen to be the Queen of Years, but in actual fact, she's being offered as a sacrifice to the god. Yeah, no, she's amazing. Her singing is absolutely beautiful, and I actually like the singing. Some fans don't like the singing in this story, but I think it's really good, and it's definitely something different. I appreciate that this story tries to do something different, and there is kind of a religious sort of vibe to this, with everybody holding a ceremony and standing before this god and singing. There's this sort of worshipping culture about these people, and it really transcends. And yeah, I honestly think this is a good story. It's not perfect. It is not perfect at all. It definitely has problems, but I really enjoyed it, and I liked the emotionality of the story and the fact that it is different. It's certainly not the best, most exciting story. It probably could have been 2 parts in order to fully develop the villains, and they shouldn't have rushed the third act so much. But overall, this is going to shock some people, but I'm sorry. I'm going to give The Rings of Akhaten an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Again, it isn't perfect, but I still really enjoyed it. But if you hate the story, that's fine. I respect that. I'm imagining that I'm going to get quite a few comments of disagreement down below, but never mind. To each their own. So, next time on Doctor Who Review, we come to Cold War, which will see the return of the Ice Warriors. Or, well, one Ice Warrior. So, until next time, thank you very much all for watching. What do you think of this story? Please comment down below and let me know. Stay tuned for my review of Cold War. And until next time, I'm Mr. TARDIS11. Thank you for watching. See ya. Bye for now.